Hey, today's topic is phonemic awareness, which means the ability to hear the individual sounds in spoken words. Why is phonemic awareness important? Well, I did a little Google search. What is the best predictor of future reading success? And the answer that popped up on Google was phonemic awareness. Now, even though we know that everything we read on the internet is not true and everything that Google says is not true, this is consistent with everything I've read about phonemic awareness. I do read a lot on the topic, and I keep seeing over and over that it is the strongest predictor of future reading success. So, I'm going to teach you some things that we do in class and some things that you can do at home with your child to help them with phonemic awareness. So the most basic skill in phonemic awareness is the ability to hear the first sound in words. So if a kid has phonemic awareness and they can identify and isolate that first sound, if I said, "Hey, what's the first sound in red?" they'd be able to say, "R." The first sound in red is R. Um, a way that you can support this with your child is when you're talking to them, you can say the first sound in word or accentuate the first sound in the word. So if you ask them to get, you can say, can you get the forks and put them on the table so we can eat dinner? Go run the water for your bath. Another thing that you could do at home is have a first sound hunt. So you could find things that have the same first sound. For instance, this is a fork. The first sound in fork is f, f. The first sound in phone is f, f. Now, you're a reader, so you know that fork and phone have the same first sound, but they don't have the same first letter. When you're talking about phonemic awareness, we're just talking about sounds. So fork and phone do have the same first sound. Another thing, I have a paper and a pencil. The first sound in paper is p. The first sound in pencil is p. I have Lego and lime. Here is a non-example. So here I have some oatmeal. The first sound in oatmeal is O. This is a jar of olives. The first sound in olives is ah. Oatmeal and olives do not have the same first sound. Again, you're a reader, so you know that they both start with the letter O. But when we are talking about sounds, they do not have the same first sound. It's important that they are listening for the sounds in spoken words because our writing system is a code where the letters represent sounds. So if the kids don't hear those individual sounds, then the letters don't make sense because they aren't seeing how the purpose of the letters is to represent the spoken sounds. Let's see, get back to me. Okay, so the simplest skill in phonemic awareness is hearing the first sound. From there, we would move to them blending the sounds together. So I would give them all the sounds in a word, and they would have to put them together to tell me the word. So I might say, red. Throw it at them, and they would have to say red. If a child is not able to hear it, to put all the sounds together when I give them the individual sounds, I might stretch the word for them. Instead of segmenting or breaking up those individual sounds, I might say them very slowly because when we're speaking, the sounds come and go so quickly that they might not be able to catch them. In class, we might use a slinky or some clay that can kind of stretch. At your house, you might have something like this. If you have anybody with long hair at home, if you have one of these, you might say, okay, if you can't do red and say red, let's try this. Red. Red. And then from there, if your child could hear the stretched word and say it naturally, then I'd move to finger segmenting. Now, red, red. So I do finger segmenting where they blend. I do arm segmenting, egg, and then we say the whole word, pig. You could do body segmenting, egg, and then the kids would say pig. You can do head, shoulders, hips, knees, toes. You can robot, ah, and then the kids would say stop. Another thing that we do is move my olives. I might break up the sounds and use an object as a placeholder for the sounds. So, and the kids would say cup. If your child is having trouble, if you're segmenting the sounds and they can't put them together, you might try giving them a category like, okay, all of these are going to be animals. So listen to what animal this is. Dog, dog, cat, cat. We want them to be able to hear the sounds in any word and be able to put them together. But if they need a little extra support, that's one way. You can do animals or colors or any other category, really. Okay, so to recap, we first focus on first sounds. Once the child is able to isolate the first sound of a word, then we want to give them all the sounds and have them blend or put those sounds together. A little higher of a skill, a little more advanced in the phonemic awareness is for them to be given a spoken word and them being able to segment the sounds. So if they are saying, hey, I'm going to take a bath, you can say, can you robot that word bath? And have them ath. I'm going to eat my soup. Can you robot soup? Oop. Make them segment for you. And it's a lot. It's the same activities you can do with blending and segmenting. It's just who's doing the work. When the child blends or puts together, the adult, I would be segmenting for them. But when they segment, we give them the full word and ask them to break it up. So if the word was tip, I would say, okay, segment tip. Tip. That's what I would expect the child to do. Or the word chip. I would expect them to go ch, p. Now you know that the sound ch is made with two letters, is written with two letters. But again, we're talking about sounds. So the first sound in chip is ch, and it's ch is only one sound. So if a child was getting pretty good at segmenting sounds, I might move between words with two sounds like it, or three sounds like chip, four sounds like stop, and so on. So there's going to be, in a lot of the words that I give them, there might be one or two extra objects, and that's purposeful because we want to make sure that if we always give them words with three sounds and three Legos, then it's that might be something you do for support if they're kind of new or kind of don't really understand the concept very well. But we want them to be proficient with it, to be able to move between 2, 3, 4, and 5 sounds in a word. So there are plenty of other activities that you could do at home with your child. These are just some easy things that you might want to do. And if you have any other questions, or if your child's really just having a lot of problems with this, please reach out to me and I'll give you